Hello and welcome to Just Ride Bikes. I'm David and behind me is the brand new Seka Spear, possibly the most exciting new bike to come out of China. And I've been riding the bike for the last month to see how it performs, and I'll share my first impressions today in this video. But let's cut to the chase. Is it actually any good? Well, yeah, it's a fantastic road race bike, as fast as it looks, and it does look very fast indeed. But, is it as good as a Specialized Tarmac SL8 or insert any other top-end road race bike available right now? We'll come back to that when I go for a spin in a few minutes. But first, before that, let's talk about the design of the bike and some other features that stood out from my time with the bike over the last month. And it is a good looking bike to my eyes, but a bit generic as most race bikes are these days. They all have dropped rear stays at the back, and they all have similar profiles for the main frame and the fork blades and internal routing. But one feature I do like, if you don't mention the Mondraker Arid, are what they call the wind eye. I don't really care much for the aero claims, but it looks cool as heck and does remind me of inlet ports on a fighter jet. So a very cool feature, definitely a talking point at the bike shop and the cafe. And so far, I've not had any issues in terms of structural worries. And then up front, we have their own handlebar, which, if that said rapide, you think you'd be on a Specialized Tarmac SL8. And truth be told, it's not my favourite handlebar in the world. The profile along here is rubbish when you're cruising along on the tops or climbing on the tops there. And there's no tape if you are riding in the summer, it gets all sweaty. Just too broad and just not very ergonomic. Yeah, handlebars are an interesting thing right now because all race bikes have one-piece cockpits and they're all very different. So yeah, you're sort of tied in to the handlebar the bike comes with. So the handlebar has to be perfect. And this one, it's okay if you're actually racing, but not my favorite in the world. So let's talk money. The real reason that people are excited by Chinese brands like Seka, Windspace and others. And in the UK right now, a frame set, so frame and fork, retails for £2,250, and it is half the price of a Specialized Tarmac SL8 frame set, although the weight of the frame is actually closer to a non-S-Works mid-range SL8, which you can't buy as a frame set. But if you search around, you can find something like a Giant Propel Advanced Pro frame set for less money, and that's a very good bike indeed, with the same lifetime warranty as Seka are offering, which is very impressive, and available more easily via a big network of dealers across the world. And you can't buy a complete bike either, so making a comparison with Specialized or Giant is pretty tricky. So the build here, I've gone for a Shimano Ultegra Di2 group set. It's a great group set and it retails for about £1,000 in the UK right now. And then an old 3D printed saddle and some new physics bar tape, some black ink wheels I'm currently reviewing. And this build is roughly about £6,500, but a big chunk of that price are the wheels. And go for a cheaper wheel set and that price would come down to about £5,000. And for comparison, a Specialized Tarmac SL8 with the same group set and rapide carbon wheels retails for £8,000. That's a list price though. There are probably discounts available on that complete bike. So it is possible to build a pretty good value for a high performance bike. This video is sponsored by Insta360 and their new X4. I love this camera, an amazing bit of kit. So it shoots in 8K, high quality footage, and we have two lenses, one on the front and one on the back, and that means full immersive 360-degree field of view. Mount it anywhere on your bike, on the handlebars, the stem, the seat post, on your body with a chest harness, on your helmet, or using a selfie stick, which I really like using. And then simply press record, do your ride, and then when you get home from your ride, simply download the footage onto the smartphone app or the desktop app, and there you can do some amazingly creative things with the footage you've shot. So it really is an amazing bit of kit, super simple as well. Got a nice lens protector as well when it's in your pocket, so it won't get damaged. Just allows you to do really cool creative shots when you are riding your bike and share your adventure with your friends and family. So if you like the sound of that and want to buy yourself an X4 right now, there's a link down below, and if you use that link and buy an X4 camera, I earn a small affiliate fee which helps support the channel and bike reviews like this. Talking of which, Right, so let me share my first ride impressions, and it is the first ride because the last 4 weeks of riding a bike, the weather has been shocking, really bad. Today it's freezing cold, but we've had monsoon rain and gale force winds. Not ideal at all for riding a bike, let alone testing a race bike. But my early conclusion, despite the weather, has been it's a fantastic race bike. And it does remind me of the Specialized Tarmac SL7 in terms of the way the bike rides. And I say the SL7, not the SL8, the newer bike, because the comfort. And simply put, the bike does struggle on rough, badly maintained road surfaces. But we'll come back to comfort in a minute, because I'm sure you just want to know, is it a fast bike? Does it hold its speed well? Well, there's one way to find out, with a lap of the Just Ride Bikes test track. Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So the course starts with a nice steady climb up to the highest point, and then a nice long descent and some tricky roads, a few corners, but not too many, and a range of road surfaces from smooth to very rough. So the bike is quick, but it doesn't feel kind of electric quick in a way a Madone or BMC Team Machine R feel. Clearly fast, and you are going fast, just doesn't have that dynamic excitement. And here we go, finish line is there. Whew. And back to the studio. Let's see how the Seka Spear did on my test track. So here is the current leaderboard and how it looks, with the BMC Team Machine R at the top, closely followed by the Canyon Aeroed CFR and a few other bikes. And here where Seka Spear slots in. So not as fast or aero as those pure aero bikes to be expected. It's not a pure aero bike, but a bit faster or low drag than the Van Rysel RCR in my testing. But sadly, while the bike is fast, it does struggle on rough roads, badly maintained tarmac, of which there is a lot here in the Cotswolds. And the front end is very hard, almost harsh. On a rough tarmac, you feel every bump in the road, every ripple is transferred through the handlebar to your hands, arms and upper body. And on longer rides, on rough roads, it's pretty tiring. The front end is constantly jittering around underneath you. It does get a bit tedious. Happily though, for my bum and back, the seated comfort is very good indeed, and definitely on a level with the SL8. Something at the back of the bike, the seat post, the rear stays are doing an excellent job of allowing the saddle to move back and forth when you encounter bumps in the road. So yeah, mixed bag really, stiff at the front, soft out back, not quite as balanced as the latest race bikes like the Tarmac, the Madone SLR Canyon Aeroed. Now, of course, if you're racing, you might not care about comfort, but even if you are racing, comfort is a good thing. You're less fatigued, you have more energy to sprint at the end of the race. And for all the people not actually racing on their bikes, comfort is clearly a good thing, above and beyond what wide tyres offer. And the latest crop of race bikes manage to offer good comfort, as well as being fast and aero, lightweight and stiff for sprinting. Let's talk sizing and geometry for a minute, because it's quite interesting here. And I've never seen anything like it with any other bike brands that I can recall. So they have 5 regular sizes, but then 2 race sizes. So more aggressive fits with a lower stack, smaller head tube and a longer reach, offering those people who want or need super aggressive, low stretched out race bike fit the option to have that. But us regular weekend warriors who don't want or need super aggressive low fits can have a more regular standard sizing, but still have all that race bike handling and performance. So after much deliberation, I've opted for a size large for my 181 centimeter height. and it fits me perfectly with a 110 stem up front. It means I can have a slam stem with no spacers and the stack I want. So yeah, definitely worth checking out that geometry chart in a bit of detail before you hit that buy button. And I would urge caution if going for the MR or LR, because if you are running a stack of spacers, you're probably better off with a large or a medium like I've gone for here. Now, the reason this is a first ride and not a full in-depth review is because of the small question mark around build quality. I'm not saying there's any issues, but I know people are concerned with Chinese brands because they're buying an unfamiliar brand. You're waiting 6 weeks sometimes for the frame to arrive. You don't have that bike shop or dealer network where you live to take the bike back to for after sales warranty issues. So a small question around reliability and long-term durability. And what I won't do is cut the frame open and inspect the carbon fibre inside. Other channels, I'm sure, on YouTube will do that for you if you want somebody to inspect inside and pass their engineering knowledge onto you in terms of how good the frame is inside. But in terms of building a frame, which is always a good test of how well a frame is made, my pro bike mechanic Scott had no issues building a frame. It all went together like a dream, as a good quality bike should. No issues with the bottom bracket threaded into the frame, no issues with facing on the disc brakes, the internal routing all went together like a dream, and cool details like the way the DIT battery goes in the bottom bracket, so you have a seat post you can easily move for travelling with no wires to drop down inside the frame. And so far in my month of riding, the seat post hasn't slipped, had no issues with creaks or rattles or squeaks emanating from anywhere in the bike, just feels solid and so far reliable. So there we go, my first ride on a brand new Seka Spear. But let me know your thoughts by dropping a comment down below. Is it a bike on your shortlist this year or not? What else is out there that's getting you excited right now? And I'll keep riding it over the coming months, and hopefully the weather improves, because today it is bitterly freezing cold, hence coat, gloves and hat. But yeah, I'll keep riding it, and you can stay tuned to updates on this bike and other bike reviews here on Just Ride Bikes by hitting that button right there, that circled subscribe button. Hit it now, go. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.